Okay, we're all set. So, okay, you said that you wanted to work on you growing your own business. So this is very different than the work that you've done before.
Yeah.
And you know what to do. And I hear that all the time. People know what to do. They're just not doing it.
Yes.
And so one of the things that you just mentioned before I hit record was that you'll enjoy like telling people, like you enjoy that part of it. You do like that part, like when you're at a networking event and things like that, you're fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's the challenge?
So the challenge is if I'm prepared and have rehearsed what I want to say, I think I am much better at articulating what I do. If I'm caught off guard or if I'm not prepared, I feel like I'm fumbling over the words and I'm not accessing the right word in my brain to get it out of my mouth. And I just don't think that I'm making sense out of what I'm saying. Okay.
All right. And so how does this apply to your feeling that you're not growing your business as a result, or somehow this is preventing you from really doing well or something like that?
So I can't if I can't talk about what I do and feel confident, I'm not going to be able to grow my business. I'm going to stay stuck where I am.
Okay. All right. And so when is the next time that you're likely to get that question from someone? Like, hey, what do you do? And not in a place where you know you're going to be up and get your 5 minutes or, yeah.
Yeah, right. It could happen on Saturday.
Okay. So you're going to an event on Saturday?
I'm actually going to a picnic. Okay. But there's going to be people there that I haven't seen in a while that I used to work with.
Okay.
Which makes it even harder.
Okay. All right. Good. So I want you to think about Saturday. You're going to the picnic and someone that you haven't seen in a while. Hey, Mary Beth, what are you doing? What's up? What are you doing now?
Panic.
Okay, let's start tapping.
I'm tapping.
Okay. All right. So it's 10. I mean, when I hear panic, it's high.
Yeah, I just yeah.
Where do you feel it in your body?
In my chest.
Okay. So let's bring some of that down. Let's do a little sneaking up. I don't know the details yet, but let's just go get started. So even though I feel all of this panic.
Even though I feel all this panic.
Feeling all this panic in my chest.
All this panic in my chest.
Just imagining going Saturday to the picnic.
Just imagining going Saturday to the picnic.
And someone I haven't seen in a while says, what are you doing?
And someone I haven't seen in a while says, what are you doing?
And I feel all this panic.
I feel all this panic.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this panic.
Even though I feel all this panic.
Just imagining seeing people that I haven't seen.
Just imagining seeing people I haven't seen.
This Saturday at the picnic.
This Saturday at the picnic.
They'll ask me what I'm up to.
They'll ask me what I'm up to.
And I just feel this panic in my chest.
I feel this panic in my chest.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this panic in my chest.
Even though I feel all this panic in my chest.
Just imagining running into these people.
Just imagining running into these people.
Saturday at the picnic.
Saturday at the picnic.
Because I'm sure they're going to ask me, what are you doing?
I'm sure they're going to ask me, what am I doing?
And I feel this panic in my chest.
I feel this panic in my chest.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Good. This panic in my chest.
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 This panic in my chest. It's definitely gone down. I would say it's more like a 5 now. And I can't imagine getting the right words out. Like I can just imagine myself bumbling something as I think about what am I going to say. And I feel like what I will do is kind of retreat back to what I'm doing in my consulting business that's not necessarily totally related to EFT. Right? So that's kind of like my old world that they know me as. And I think I will just kind of go back and talk about that instead of saying what else I'm doing with business owners and EFT.
Okay. So there's no problem with you telling them about that side of what you're doing. There is a problem with you saying, I'm doing this thing with business owners.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I want you to narrow it down to telling them, if I were to tell you that your assignment is to tell someone what you're actually doing with the EFT stuff, and I want you to pick one person that you're likely to run into in this picnic. A name just in your head. Yes, I have that one person picked out.
Okay.
Okay. And you're going to then your assignment is to tell them about the business. Is it still panic? Some other emotion? What else comes up?
I feel like I'm being judged.
Okay. And do you feel that anywhere in your body?
My face.
Okay.
My face feels like it's getting red.
Okay. And 0 to 10 on that?
8.
Okay. All right. Even though I feel like I'm being judged.
Even though I feel like I'm being judged.
And I feel it in my face.
I feel it in my face.
Just imagining Saturday's picnic.
Just imagining Saturday's picnic.
Seeing this one person. And having to tell them what I do now.
Having to tell him what I do now.
I feel judged.
I feel judged.
And I deeply and completely accept myself.
And I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel it in my face.
Even though I feel it in my face.
I feel judged.
I feel judged.
Imagining Saturday's picnic.
Imagining Saturday's picnic.
I'll be telling this one guy what I'm doing now.
I'll be telling this one guy what I'm doing now.
And I feel judged.
I feel judged.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel judged.
Even though I feel judged.
Just thinking about this one guy.
Just thinking about this one guy.
And I feel it in my face.
Feel it in my face.
Just imagining telling him what I'm doing.
Just imagining telling him what I'm doing.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Good. I feel judged.
Feel judged.
I feel judged.
I feel judged.
I'm feeling it in my face.
Feel it in my face.
I feel judged.
I feel judged.
Just imagining telling this one guy.
Just imagining telling this one guy.
What I'm doing with EFT.
What I'm doing with EFT.
And I really feel judged.
I really feel judged.
Feeling judged in my face.
Feeling judged in my face.
Okay.
I don't know if I gave you a number. I did.
It was an 8 before. Mm-hmm.
Like a 4 now. And interestingly enough, it wasn't telling him about EFT that I felt. I felt like it was at how I'm working with business owners to do strategy and planning and bringing it together, because I felt like he judged me when I was doing that in my old job.
You were doing something similar?
I was doing something similar without the EFT piece of it, right? And I felt like he never thought I was cutting it. So
Do you
now
remember one of those times where you either felt that from him or actually heard that from him in the past?
Oh gosh, a lot of times it was just a feeling.
Yeah. Pick one of those times where you got that feeling from him.
Okay. It was through somebody else, but I think I got it.
Okay. And what did you hear through the grapevine that he said, or what he was feeling, or?
Actually, I think that was the words, was maybe I just wasn't cutting it. I don't know if that's, I'm not even sure if that's what the word was, but that's what's coming up, so it must be that.
She's not cutting it.
Not cutting it.
She's not cutting it. Okay.
She's
And
not.
thinking about that, what are you feeling?
I'm angry.
Yeah. 0 to 10.
7.
Where do you feel it?
Like my solar plexus.
Okay. Even though I feel this anger in my solar plexus.
Even though I feel this anger in my solar plexus.
Hearing she's not cutting it.
Hearing she's not cutting it.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though it makes me angry.
Even though it makes me angry.
And I feel it in my solar plexus.
I feel it in my solar plexus.
Hearing that he said she's not cutting it.
Hearing that he said she's not cutting it.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel this anger in my solar plexus.
Even though I feel this anger in my solar plexus.
Hearing she's not cutting it.
Hearing she's not cutting it.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
This anger in my solar plexus.
This anger in my solar plexus.
She's not cutting it.
She's not cutting it.
That's what I heard him say.
That's what I heard him say.
He said that about me.
Said that about me.
He's judging me.
Judging me.
All this anger in my solar plexus.
All this anger in my solar plexus.
Hearing him say he's not cutting it.
Hearing him say she's not cutting it.
All this anger in my solar plexus.
All this anger in my solar plexus. Okay, totally. I didn't know if I should stop you or not, but
yeah,
as we were even doing the setup, it totally switched from him to a middle school teacher who actually did say those words. You're not cutting it. And
he said it to you directly?
Yeah, said it to me directly. And it's interesting. I tapped on this a while ago. I thought I cleared it. So obviously I didn't. I was in her history class. I was very shy, did not say a lot in school, so I never raised my hand. And at one point in time, she called on me. I don't think I was paying attention. And she called on me and said something like, it's time to pull your weight in this class. You're not cutting it. And had me ask me a question. I don't even think I heard the question.
Yeah.
So I couldn't answer it.
And what are you feeling right now? Just thinking about that moment.
I think surprised.
0 to 10.
7.
Where do you feel it?
My chest.
Okay. Even though I feel a surprise in my chest.
Even though I feel this surprise in my chest.
The history teacher calls on me.
The history teacher called on me.
And she says, it's time you pulled your weight in this class.
It's time you pulled your weight in this class.
You're not cutting it.
You're not cutting it.
I feel surprise in my chest.
I feel surprised in my chest.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel the surprise in my chest.
Even though I feel this surprise in my chest.
The history teacher calls on me.
The history teacher called on me.
It's time for you to pull your weight.
Time for you to pull your weight.
You're not cutting it.
You're not cutting it.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel the surprise in my chest.
Even though I feel the surprise in my chest.
The history teacher called on me.
History teacher called on me.
She said, it's time you pulled your weight in this class.
Time you pulled your weight in this class.
You're not cutting it.
You're not cutting it.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
The surprise in my chest.
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 She said, you're not pulling your weight in this class.
You're not pulling your weight in this class.
You're not cutting it.
You're not cutting it.
The surprise in my chest.
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 The teacher said, you're not pulling your weight in this class.
You're not pulling your weight in this class.
You're not cutting it.
You're not cutting it. Kind of turn to, I don't even care. It doesn't matter. Almost like I don't care what you think as far as thinking of her. And it's more of me not feeling it as if I was there. It's me looking at the situation now. And it's kind of like, it feels like it's a memory now.
Okay.
And I don't care.
Okay. So I want you to I want you to really think about that event.
Mm-hmm.
Close your eyes if you need to, and let's really test and make sure there's nothing that's left about it. When she called on you, the fact that you weren't paying attention, that maybe you were fumbling around for an answer, that kind of thing. Is there anything left?
Yeah, it's about not being able to get the words out. I think it's about freezing up in the moment.
Okay.
Because I didn't know the answer, I don't know if I didn't know the answer or I didn't hear the question.
Right.
I think it was I didn't hear the question.
Okay.
And
what's the feeling that you get just thinking that you froze at that moment and you really didn't even hear the question? The words didn't come out.
Yeah, it's like she didn't give me a chance. I'm like kind of anger. It's anger again.
Okay.
Yeah, it's anger again.
0 to 10.
8.
Do you feel it anywhere in your body?
My throat.
Okay. Even though I feel this anger in my throat.
Even though I feel this anger in my throat.
The words didn't come out.
The words didn't come out.
I froze.
I froze.
I didn't hear her.
I didn't hear her.
And she didn't give me a chance.
And she didn't give me a chance.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel this anger.
Even though I feel this anger.
And let me get clear. Anger at her or anger at yourself?
Anger at her.
Okay. Even though I feel this anger, she didn't give me a chance.
Even though I feel this anger at her, she didn't give me a chance.
I froze.
I froze.
I couldn't get the words out.
I couldn't get the words out.
And she didn't give me a chance.
And she didn't give me a chance.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this anger in my throat.
Even though I feel all this anger in my throat.
She didn't give me a chance.
She didn't give me a chance.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
This anger in my throat.
This anger in my throat.
She didn't give me a chance.
She didn't give me a chance.
The words didn't come out.
The words didn't come out.
I was frozen.
I was frozen.
And she didn't give me a chance.
She didn't give me a chance.
All this anger in my throat.
All this anger in my throat.
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 This anger in my throat. I don't think it's anger. Now it's kind of switched to sitting there and seeing everyone turn around looking at me like I'm on the spot.
Yeah. How does that feel?
It's panic again.
Okay. 0 to 10.
9.
Where do you feel it?
In my throat and my head.
All right. Even though I feel all this panic in my throat and head.
Even though I feel all this panic in my throat and my head.
Everyone's turning around and looking at me.
Everyone's turning around and looking at me.
I'm on the spot.
I'm on the spot.
I feel all this panic.
I feel all this panic.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this panic in my throat and head.
Even though I feel all this panic in my throat and my head.
Everyone's turning to look at me.
Everyone's turning and looking at me.
I'm on the spot.
I'm on the spot.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all of this panic in my throat and head.
Even though I feel all this panic in my throat and my head.
I'm on the spot.
I'm on the spot.
Everyone's turning around and looking at me.
Everyone's turning around and looking at me.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Good. All this panic.
All this panic.
This panic in my throat and head.
This panic in my throat and my 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 head.
All this panic.
All this panic.
Everyone's turning around and looking at me.
Everyone's turning around and looking at me.
And I'm on the spot.
I'm on the spot.
I'm on the spot.
I'm on the spot. So what happened, and it did not happen in real life, but this is what just happened in my mind, that I just got up from that classroom and walked out.
Okay.
And it's a feeling of giving up, kind of, not trying.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like it wasn't worth a fight.
Okay. Do you feel that anywhere in your body?
Like behind my eyes.
Level of intensity of like, I'm giving up, not even trying. It's not worth it.
7.
All right. Even though
I
feel it behind my eyes,
I feel it behind my eyes.
I feel like giving up,
I feel like giving up.
standing up and walking out.
Just standing up and walking out.
It's not worth the fight.
It's not worth the fight.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel like giving up,
Even though I feel like giving up,
standing up and walking out.
just standing up and walking out.
It's not worth trying.
It's not worth trying.
Not worth the fight.
It's not worth the fight.
And I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel like standing up and walking out.
Even though I feel like standing up and walking out.
Giving up.
Just giving up.
Not trying.
Not trying.
It wasn't worth the fight.
It wasn't worth the fight.
And I feel it behind my eyes.
Feel it behind my eyes.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Good. Wasn't worth a fight.
Wasn't worth the fight.
Feel like standing up and walking out.
I feel like standing up and walking out.
I feel like giving up.
Just feel like giving up.
It's not worth the fight.
Not worth the fight.
I feel like turning around, getting up, and just leaving.
Feel like turning around, getting up, and just leaving.
Not trying.
Not trying.
It's not worth a fight.
Not worth the fight.
I feel like giving up.
Just feel like giving up.
All right. How's that feeling behind your eyes?
It's still there. It's just a little, it's lessened. It's not as intense.
Okay. It's still the same feeling? Feel like giving up?
Yeah.
All right. Even though I still feel some of this behind my eyes.
Even though I still feel some of this behind my eyes.
Wanting to give up.
Just wanting to give up.
It's not worth the fight.
It's not worth the fight.
I feel like standing up and walking out.
Feel like standing up and walking out.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I still feel some of this behind my eyes.
Even though I still feel some of this behind my eyes.
Giving up.
Giving up.
Standing up and walking out.
Standing up and walking out.
It's not worth the fight.
Not worth the fight.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel like just walking out.
Even though I feel like just walking out.
It's not worth the fight.
It's not worth the fight.
And I still feel some of this behind my eyes.
Still feel it behind my eyes.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I feel like giving up.
Feel like giving up.
I don't feel like trying.
Don't feel like trying.
Feel like standing up and walking out.
Feel like standing up and walking out.
It's not worth the fight.
Not worth the fight.
It's not worth the fight.
Not worth the fight.
Feel it behind my eyes.
Behind my eyes.
It's not worth it.
Not worth it.
I'd rather just stand up and walk out.
Just stand up and walk out. Yeah, I can't feel it behind my eyes anymore. No. Just feel kind of numb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to check on that event. I want you to really tune into it. Just imagine all the pieces. The teacher, she called on you. You probably didn't hear the question. You freeze. And then all these kids are looking at you.
Yeah, what pops in my head is I'm smarter than you think.
Okay, that's good.
And it's just like, you don't know it. You just don't know it. And,
you don't know it?
You
Oh,
don't
they
know
don't
it.
know it.
They don't know. They don't know it. They don't know.
Got it. Yeah.
And it's like, do I even care? No, probably not. No, I don't.
You don't care.
I don't care.
Okay.
But it still is that kind of that feeling like I'm walking away from it.
Has that happened before, where you've walked away from something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, all the time.
Okay. And so I'm going to ask you, because there are different reasons why that happens to people. One of the reasons that I've seen that people don't keep trying and have persistence about something, they just give up, is because they had one or both parents not really encouraging them, not giving them praise and not saying, stay in there, you're doing great. Okay, so if that's true, let's make up a scenario if you want to, or if something comes to mind where that really truly happened for you, maybe earlier on in life.
That they weren't encouraging?
Yeah. They didn't compliment you. They didn't say, hang in there. You're doing great. Something that you look back and maybe you should have really tried harder.
That never happened. I've never heard I was doing great.
A time that you wish you would have heard that from them.
That what comes in is I always wanted to play a sport, but felt like it was an inconvenience for her.
Okay.
So I didn't I wanted somebody to encourage it and say, yeah, that's great, something you want to do. And it's like, no, that means I have to get you there.
So let me hear from you. Is there a sport, one particular sport that you really, really wanted to do?
I think it was field hockey, I think.
Field hockey.
Yeah. Field hockey.
Did you have friends that were doing field hockey?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Okay, so let's come up with an imaginary scene where you heard maybe one of you was going to be in that season or doing field hockey or anything like that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Say that again.
Oops. Yeah, you froze. Okay, I want you to make up a scene where you may have heard that your friend was doing field hockey, or a friend invited you to do field hockey, or something along those lines.
Okay.
And you either thought to ask, or that was immediately shut down, or you actually asked and there was that sense that no, not going to happen.
I don't even know that I asked. I remember a friend of mine did it, and I think I wanted to ask, and I just not sure. Either I asked, I think I might have asked, and she kind of didn't give me an answer. I had a feeling that this just isn't going to fly, so I just then said no. I just decided I didn't want to do it.
Okay. Let's do some matrix on this.
Okay.
All right, tapping on your finger points inside of hand. I want you to go see that younger Mary Beth and see her somewhere where her mother has just given her that non-answer, non-commitment. And approximately how old is that Mary Beth?
14.
Okay. And where do you see her? Physical location?
In the kitchen.
Okay. And what's happening there in the kitchen?
My mother is making dinner. And I was standing next to her, telling her about my friend who was joining the field hockey team, and I thought I wanted to do it.
Okay. And then she gets that kind of response from mom.
Yeah. She said, how how are you going to get home?
All right. So I want you to go ahead and freeze anybody else who's there. Just connect with Mary Beth. And do you have a sense that she knows who you are?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to ask her how she's feeling about Mom's response.
Sad.
Yeah.
She said she's feeling sad.
Okay.
There's another word too, but she can't figure out what the word is.
That's fine. Does she feel that sadness anywhere in her body?
In her throat.
Is there a color with that?
Yellow.
And what color or colors needs to go in her throat to change that sadness?
Silver.
Good. Send silver energy to her throat. Take her hand and tap on the side of it. And let's say, even though you're feeling all of this sadness.
Even though you're feeling all this sadness.
I'm here to help you through this.
I'm here to help you through this.
Even though you're feeling all of this sadness.
Even though you're feeling all this sadness.
I'm here to help you through this.
I'm here to help you through this.
You're going to be okay.
You're going to be okay.
Even though you're feeling all this sadness in your throat.
Even though you're feeling all this sadness in your throat.
I'm here to help you.
I'm here to help you.
And I'm here to help you through this.
I'm here to help you through this.
You are going to be okay.
You are going to be okay.
Good. Let's tap on our points. All this sadness.
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 Good. Go back to tapping on your finger points inside of hand and check on her. See how she's doing.
Yeah, she's kind of like turned away from her mom.
Mm-hmm. Is the sadness lessening?
Yeah, it's like she's accepted it. Like she's not surprised by it.
Yeah.
It's just the way mom is.
Okay. And I want you to ask her what belief or decision she created as a result of that.
It's better not to ask for anything that you want or go for anything you want.
Mm-hmm. Because if you do,
you're not going to get it anyway.
Yeah. And from your higher self and all the ways that you've grown emotionally, spiritually since that age, what do you want to tell her from your higher self?
That she can do that. She doesn't have to count on someone else to get her to her dreams.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Wow. That's a big deal.
Okay. It's a big deal. All right. Is she listening to you?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
She looks a little curious, like, okay, I'd rather believe you than mom.
Okay. And so ask her, what would she like to have happen where she can not rely on anybody else to fulfill and go for her dreams? What does she need to experience here? Just ask her.
She just wants to leave that room.
Okay.
Get out of that house.
Okay. Where would she like to go?
To the beach.
Great. Who would she like to go to the beach with?
With me.
All right. Take her to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else she needs to experience to let her really know that she can go for it? She can go after her dreams without anyone else.
She wants to know that it, like wants to hear proof of it, that it's happened.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you give her some proof?
Yes.
Great. All right. Share that proof with her.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How's she feeling?
She's believing it more.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else she needs from you?
She's asking what to do if she's scared
Mm-hmm.
in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm telling her what to do. And she's like, wow, it's that easy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, she's good.
Okay. What does she want to do at the beach?
Live there forever.
So you're there at the beach with her. Do you recognize the beach?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What time of year is it at the beach?
It's like warm. I think it's like September, but it's warm.
Okay. Good. All right. Put your hands at your heart center. Bring in that positive image of you at the beach with her. Send those positive images and feelings down to all the cells of your body. Bring all of that into your heart center. Have it grow, expand, and intensify. And exhale that out through your heart.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
Great.
So let me ask you something about your mother.
Okay.
Is she still around?
Yes.
Okay. How does she feel about you with your business? What you're doing?
I think there's a part of her that's proud of me, and then there's a part of her that she can't believe it could really work. So I don't really tell her much about it anymore because it's just not worth the questions, and I've got to know that that's just the way she is. But yeah, she's very impressed that I can still do consulting work and make money when I'm doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just have learned just not to say a lot about it to her.
Okay. All right. Well, that may or may not be contributing to what you're feeling around this whole issue.
Oh, I'm sure.
So let's go. I want you to just close your eyes a minute and check in on the field hockey girl and tell me what you noticed. What about her is different or changed?
She's very much more confident. Yeah. It's almost like she really doesn't care about the sport. Yeah, but she does feel way like she doesn't need approval.
Okay, great. All right, excellent. Now I want you to think about the picnic, and you're going to run into this guy that you haven't seen in a while, and he's going to ask you what you do. Mm-hmm. And so thinking about telling him, how does that feel?
I do feel much better. I'll probably be vague about it just because I think he doesn't deserve to know what I do.
Okay. Okay.
But it's not because I'm afraid to tell him. It's more just like, I don't care about your opinion anymore. Yeah.
Okay, good.
That's awesome.
Good. How about somebody that you don't know? Let's hear if you go to the picnic and somebody introduces you, mm-hmm. and you're just chit-chatting with a brand new person and they just happen to say, well, what do you do?
Yeah. I feel like I am animated about telling them what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
All right. Now here's one final thing. I want you to close your eyes, and your mom actually asks you about what's happening with that thing that you're doing other than your consulting work.
Mm-hmm.
And she's actually asking you about that. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good until she asks me, well, how many clients do you have?
Ooh, okay.
And I'm just like, there's a part of me that says, it's none of your business. And I'll just make up a bigger number than it really is.
Okay.
But it's not in a way of I'm feeling like attacked or judged by her. It's just like almost laughable that that's just the way she is about, not just that, about everything.
Okay. And so you're fine. It feels kind of neutral that you have to answer that way.
Yeah, I think, well, it does. I kind of wish I wish it was good enough for her, whatever I said, but
okay.
Yeah, I've just known that it doesn't matter what I say. It's going to be judged in some way or another.
Right. Well, I suspect that if this issue is still there after, you test this out for a bit in your real life with who you run into, and if you fumble and you freeze and you can't say what you do, then I would suspect that just go back to stuff around mom. That's the hit that I'm getting. The times where, you were really encouraged, you were excited about something, and she's like, well, tell me about the hard facts about that, and things like that, where she may have put the kibosh, or you picked up on, oh, she's not thrilled for me. Yes. Even like adult, not just childhood stuff. Yeah.
Always goes back to her, doesn't it?
Otherwise, I think this is a good place to stop.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good seeing you.
All right, you too.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.